what countries visited Troy for a small look inside their culture.
And we find out how some students are painting nails for a good cause. Stay tuned. TrojanVision News starts right now.
From the High Definition Production Center of Troy University's Broadcast and Digital Network, Troy, Alabama's International University, this is Troy TrojanVision News.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision News for November 19th, 2015. I'm Casey Freeman.
And I'm Xavier Harris. Thank you for joining us this evening. Troy University is home to students from all over the world, and today all of those cultures were on display on the social quad as a part of International Education Week. Samantha Charles explains.
Want to experience the world without traveling too far? Well, as a part of International Education Week, Troy University hosted an international market where students could get a taste of various nationalities.
This is just, I guess, the world tent, and we have different tents, especially this one is the costume tent, then we have a food tent, and then we have just like an information tent about, so students can learn about studying abroad or just like going over to other countries. And it's really just showing the importance that Troy puts on internationalism and joining us all together.
Here we have a little boutique set up to where people can dress up in clothes from around the world. We have food behind us where people can taste different parts of the world. So really we're just trying to market the International Program Department and get students on campus interested in what we do here.
Travel around the world in 80 days? How about less than an hour? Troy University's international program allowed students to experience over 70 different cultures in one day.
To get people to see how the dressing is and the food is and how they can get involved with different parts of the world, really just to bring different parts of our world to Troy and for them to see that it's a very exciting and just, I don't know, to broaden their thinking about what different parts of our world is.
The International Students Office hopes to break down cultural barriers and to eliminate common misconceptions.
Misconception about international students is they're not a part of the university as a whole, that they're almost like their own entity, but in reality they're just as part of not only the university but I guess our community, and it's really just they're trying to be able to incorporate and help out, but sometimes they don't get that chance, so it's a good way for students to interact and mingle and really just get together.
I think students here need to be more cultured and more aware of different religious beliefs and different cultural aspects like food and ways people dress, just to be more accepting of people that come here. I know that that's a big part of why students like to be involved in international programs. So just to be more well-rounded as a person, more knowledgeable.
Samantha Charles, Troy TrojanVision News.
The Taste of International Culture will continue tonight with the annual ISCO Festival in the Trojan Center ballrooms.
One international student organization spent the afternoon making some Troy University students look their best in a fashionable fundraiser. Sarah Singletary has the story.
The Vietnamese Student Association strayed from the norm and hosted a fundraiser that's unconventional compared to most that you see in the Trojan Center. Instead of selling baked goods or other items, the VSA offered up a service that they thought they have a talent for.
Okay, so if you guys probably know, we the Vietnamese really good at doing the nail. We have a lot of local nail store here. The owner is Vietnamese, so we asked for the donation. All of this stuff, the nail polish is donation from the local store is C&K. So we have the donation from them, and so we decided to do something different from other organizations.
After receiving donations from a local nail salon, the Vietnamese Student Association was able to harness its members' talents to not only raise funds for the organization, but for the Vietnamese community.
Well, normally people do like cookies thingy and sell stuff, people try to sell. How about we just do our own thingy, like we come out there and we do make people happy and we get some money too. Try to raise some money for like the New Year Eve thingy and then send some money for the children hunger too.
For the most of fundraising, the money will go to all the events that we would have in the future. We have the Tet holiday, and for probably for the children, like it will go back to the Vietnamese community.
One student who took advantage of the pop-up salon says the location helped attract business.
I think having it in the Trojan Center was a really good twist because they draw a lot of attention to students who may not have actually come in here to get their nails done, but they're like, hey, it's $5, why don't I just stop while I'm here for lunch?
The VSA plans to continue their fundraising efforts by providing nail salon services. Sarah Singletary, Troy, TrojanVision News.
The Vietnamese New Year celebration, or Tet, will be held early next semester. Collecting things is a popular hobby for many people, but usually things like baseball cards, coins, or even toys.
But one Troy University professor boasts an extensive collection of an item that you would find in a desk but might not think of as a collectible. Jamal Kennedy has the details.
Whether it's college or high school, most students probably think that their professors don't do much outside of, well, just this, grading papers. But there is one professor who does something pretty unique.
It just, I don't know, when I saw, I was surprised by things like spiral paper clips, for example, that, I'd never even heard of before. So I just started collecting them.
You heard that right, paper clips. Professor Robertson has spent over 20 years collecting these paper attaching items, but you'll never guess how he got his start.
Well, when I was an undergraduate, I took an advanced composition course, and we had to write essay after essay after essay, and I was getting desperate for topics. So for some reason, I don't know, I just thought I'll write a paper about the difference between paper clips and staples. So that's how I got started, because I found that there were lots of different kinds, because you're used to the sort of normal kind of paper clip, but turns out there are lots and lots of other kinds.
And though Dr. Robertson's collected paper clips for over 20 years, you'll still never believe just how many he's gathered.
I don't know, 200 or 300 maybe?
Wow.
Something like that. There are quite a few. I've got a few photos of them on my website, on my Spectrum site, but I haven't updated those photos in, I think, 6 years, so it's kind of embarrassing.
To see more about Dr. Robertson's paperclip collection, you can check them out on his Spectrum site at spectrum.troy/Robertson/ Jamal Kennedy, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Tomorrow we will continue our professor profile with a look at a communications professor who helped people communicate outside of the classroom.
And now taking a look at news from around the state. Opelika, Alabama authorities say a former Lee County deputy sheriff has been arrested on a charge involving sexual abuse of a child. 38-year-old Kevin Taylor of Phoenix City was arrested yesterday by the State Bureau of Investigation. He's charged with 1 count of sexual abuse of a child under the age of 12.
Police say the second suspect wanted in a connection with the death of a man who says he was shot while sitting in his girlfriend's car was also arrested on multiple media outlets report. Decatur police say 24-year-old Gary Lorenzo Hill Jr. turned himself in to authorities on Wednesday. Hill and another suspect, 24-year-old Javante Anderson, are charged with capital murder in connections with the slaying of 30-year-old Brandon Terrell Harris. Anderson surrendered to police on Monday.
A jury has recommended the death penalty for an East Alabama woman convicted of hiring a hitman to kill her daughter. Multiple news outlets reported Wednesday that a jury recommended the death penalty for Lisa Graham, who was convicted of paying a family friend to fatally shoot her 21-year-old daughter, Stephanie Shea Graham, in July of 2007.
Still to come on Troy TrojanVision News, Troy's men's basketball team welcomes UAB tonight in Trojan Arena. William McCarthy gives us a preview in sports.
Plus, we get an update on the attack in Paris, so stay with us.
Residents are on edge following a terrorism raid and takedown near Paris. I'm Kenneth Craig with the new details coming up.
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
Look at me. Hey.
Raymond, look at mommy.
Maybe the light hurts his eyes.
Maybe she's just not hungry. Maybe he can't hear us. Maybe we're not stimulating him enough. Maybe it's a phase.
Avoiding eye contact is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
Now, the latest in Trojan sports on Troy TrojanVision News.
Troy men's basketball returns to the friendly walls of Trojan Arena tonight against in-state rival UAB at 7 p.m. The Trojans are looking for their first 3-0 start since coming to Division I. As well, Troy is looking for their first win against the Blazers, with UAB taking the series 7-0. Associate coach Marcus Grant gives us a preview of the matchup.
Huge game, in-state rival, very good basketball team, picked to win their conference. Returned everybody from a tournament team last year, so they'll come in ready to play. They'll come in with a good basketball team, but our guys are up for the challenge. We're confident right now, and we should be, so we're excited about the opportunity.
Once again, Troy returns to Trojan Arena tonight against the UAB Blazers at 7 p.m. The first 1,000 students will receive a white rally towel. The last time Troy volleyball played a match was 6 days ago in Statesboro, Georgia against Georgia Southern. Now the Trojans return to Statesboro for the Sun Belt Conference tournament against Appalachian State. Earlier this year, the Trojans fought hard against the Mountaineers, but couldn't get the victory at home. And head coach Sonny Kirkpatrick says all their focus on is on the Mountaineers.
It's a single focus because we're only guaranteed one match. So everything, all of our focus is on Appalachian State. They're a very good team. They won, I forget, it was like 18 matches in a row at one point, or 15 matches in a row. They're very well coached. They're very athletic in some of their positions, and I like the matchup that we have with them. I'm sure Matt is thinking the exact same thing about us. It's going to come down to who makes the least amount of mistakes.
Troy returns to the court Friday at 11 a.m. against the Mountaineers of Appalachian State in the Sun Belt Conference tournament. And back to the courts we go, and the women's basketball team competed on the road against the Sanford Bulldogs, but couldn't pull out the victory on the road. Head coach Chandra Rigby knows what it takes to win on the road, and her players have to figure out how to do just that. She makes the comment, quote, "We have to learn how to come on the road, play much better than a team, and win," end quote. Troy returns to the court Sunday when it welcomes Fort Valley State at 2 p.m. And the Troy University's Student Athlete Advisory Committee, also known as SAC, has finished their annual food drive in support of the Troy Human Resources Food Bank. This is the 11th year of the Troy SAC food drive, and last year, the Troy student athletes donated approximately 10,000 canned goods for the residents of the Troy community during the holiday season. And if you'd like to make a donation, you can make the donation at the Salvation Army located on South Brunner Street in Troy.